Hi, I'm Hillary, the SheSEER. Today's video was requested by so many of you. It's on Elijah View, the missing 3-year-old boy from Two Rivers, Wisconsin. He went missing on February 20th, 2024, while staying with his mother's boyfriend. As of today, he hasn't been found. In this reading, I'm going to share my psychic impressions on what happened to him and where Elijah might be. At the end, I reveal my psychic opinion on if Elijah will eventually be found. I'm going to just get right into it. This reading is for education and entertainment. It's only for adults, and it's not fact, it's my psychic opinion. To start the reading, I see the number 58. Then I see a field with something growing. It's green and about 3 feet tall off the ground. There's a mix of brown with green. I know Elijah went missing in February, so something like this wouldn't have been there then. This may be more likely in spring or summer. I got the name Jesse. I realized after I did the reading that was the mom's boyfriend's name, and that is who Elijah was staying with and who reported him missing. I also got the name Erica. After the reading, I read Elijah had a sister named Elena, I believe, and it's possible that it was Elena and I heard it wrong, or maybe an Erica is coming up for a reason. I see something like the name Rodrigo or Rodriguez. This does not really feel like a straightforward name. It feels more like a clue, perhaps a street or perhaps a business. I don't know. Let me know if you guys get anything on that. I see something like a bench or a rectangular box on the ground outside made of grayish worn wood you could sit on. As I look at Elijah's photo, I hear the message 4 feet. I know it's not talking about feet on a body. I believe it's referring to measurement. I know Elijah was not 4 feet tall. I'm wondering perhaps if he was buried 4 feet deep or put in something 4 feet long. It's possible the wooden box I saw is 4 feet long, or it's buried 4 feet deep, or they could be unrelated. I wish it was clearer, but that's how this works. I read that they found Elijah's blanket 3.7 miles away from the boyfriend's apartment where Elijah was when he was reported missing. I feel like this was almost like what you'd call a red herring, meaning they left these articles in this location to throw people off. I get that he is in the opposite direction, like the blanket was to the left and Elijah would be to the right on a map in the opposite direction. I'm tuning in again to try to get more about his location, and I saw a smoke, like thick black smoke, and I heard the word smoke. This vision is similar to smoke you'd see coming out of a factory. It's possible Elijah's location is close to a factory, or maybe the boyfriend has a connection to a factory, or he may have a connection to an area for a different reason, but it's near a factory. That's kind of how that's feeling to me. I'm also now getting that Elijah's location would be somehow visible from far away. Like if you were up high somehow in some kind of lookout or a different elevation, it would overlook this area. I also feel there's a landmark nearby. I think the boyfriend wanted to check on it and not forget in case he needed to produce this location at some later point. I tried to feel what was going on with Elijah physically and feel if he was still alive or if he'd passed away and what caused his passing. Unfortunately, I feel strongly Elijah is no longer alive. I feel that Elijah potentially had a fever and chest cold, maybe bronchitis, because I'm feeling a heaviness in his chest. I feel like he was very sick and weak, like he couldn't stand up. I also feel he had the chills, and I also feel he was very dehydrated. I get that allegedly the boyfriend denied him food and water, and basically he passed away from a combination of starvation, dehydration, being sick, and ultimately these abuse tactics and neglect. There's information out that he was forcing Elijah to take very cold showers. He was forcing him to stand and pray, just really horrible stuff. Sorry about the background noise. I see some physical violence being very physical and rough handling Elijah. Even this man allegedly covering his mouth and nose with his hand as well. The suffocating part came in as I'm clarifying my notes for this video, but I didn't see that as the final cause of his passing. It's more of a really disturbing control tactic. I believe that at some point he checked on Elijah after ignoring him for hours when he was sick and he had passed away. I see that he called the mom and told her to come over, but she didn't know he had passed away until she got there. I hear her saying, "How could you?" and crying. I see him telling her that he didn't do anything. He was sick and he passed away from being sick. But he knew the abuse and neglect would be evident, so together they made up a story about discovering that Elijah had gone missing when the boyfriend woke up from a nap. Now, I'm going to get into a bit of the psychological reads on the situation and what I got from mediumship with Elijah's energy. Then I'll let you guys know what I think at the end if he's going to be discovered. I see and feel Elijah's very attached to his mommy and sissy. I see him running up and holding onto his mom's legs like, "Don't leave," or "I'm scared." I don't know if Elijah was slow developmentally or scared to talk, but I get that he did not speak easily or fully. I see him saying, "No, go," like, don't leave me." When I look at his photo, I'm overcome with the feeling that he really wanted to just feel warm and safe. It's hard to portray these messages from a toddler because it comes across more like an urge tied with flashes of him curled up in bed with a blanket. It's very, very sad. I feel like he's with this man, and in a way he's scared, but he's also full of love, and he doesn't understand why he can't just sit next to him or be close to him. I see this man is very harsh, and in his mind, it's just about control. And I see this man is mad and frustrated that he won't stay still or where he places Elijah. I feel this guy had a military-type upbringing that unfortunately included abuse. But I get that similar tactics like cold showers and not being able to sit down and withholding food, and I even see that for him, perhaps he had to earn his food. I feel this kind of abuse happening to who I'm saying the man, the boyfriend, around age 7 or 8. I get that this may have also been a stepfather, not his biological father. But so the way he's looking at it, it's like it's a good idea to start this type of quote-unquote training young so he doesn't cause Elijah's mom trouble. I get that mom has an energy like she needs to protect herself from Elijah, which sounds ridiculous, but for whatever reason, she's looking at herself as a victim. It's as if she feels Elijah is purposefully making her life difficult or draining her energy. I feel like she has an attitude of "leave me alone," and all he wants is just to be close to her. He doesn't understand why. I see her kind of forcefully pushing him away, and he thinks it's funny, and he laughs, and he goes to her again, and it's just so cruel, but Elijah doesn't understand. So then he gets frustrated, and of course he has emotions, and she acts like he's taunting her or attacking her. So sometimes I'll just see little scenarios like that with remote viewing. And I feel like she has a chip on her shoulder about being a bad mom. Like, "Oh, you think I'm a bad mom? You don't know how good these kids have it." She feels like she gives 110% to her kids, but in reality, she's cold and neglectful. It's interesting how someone can have such a skewed perception of themselves, allegedly. I don't get that mom had an extremely bad life as the reason she's treating him so, abusively. I see her as having unhealed trauma. We all do to some degree, and she formed coping mechanisms and ways of seeing herself as a victim instead of emotionally maturing and working on herself. But sadly, people just don't have the awareness sometimes. I feel if family tried to call her out for her bad attitude and treatment of her kids, that she'd fake a little better attitude in front of them or temporarily, and then ultimately complain about how they don't understand how hard it is, and she doesn't understand why they treat her so badly. This is the kind of energy I'm getting off of the mom. I'm getting that currently the mom and her boyfriend have the plan of staying quiet. I think legal counsels advise them both not to say anymore, and they're just hoping Elijah's remains are not found. I'm asking if Elijah will be found. I do not feel he'll be found by someone who's searching for him or that he'll be discovered accidentally. Obviously, just because I'm getting this doesn't mean it's true, so of course people should never stop searching for him. But the longer I sit with this question, I feel there's quite a bit of energy on the possibility that the boyfriend involved gives up the location of Elijah's remains in the future. I'm feeling this shift might happen because of something that happens between him and Elijah's mother, relationship-wise. I can't think of an exact scenario that this would make sense, but I guess you'd say the energy is pointing me towards something like that. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Let's all send out lots of prayers and love for this little angel. I felt his energy and spirit now as very light and angelic. He's just pure love now. As sick and disturbing as this case was, I'm comforted by the condition of his spirit now. He's definitely in a much better place. If you guys appreciate the hours of time and energy I put into these videos and you want me to make more, I really need your support. So please like, subscribe, and leave me a note in the comments. This video was a request, and I want more requests from you guys. Over time, I hope to get to them all in some way, whether that's a video or a live stream. For now, I'm sending you all so much love, and I'll see you in the next